did you start to open to the public? I mean, people were coming up your driveway to go to the nursery.
Well, the habitat was open to the public in 2010, February.
Yeah. When did you start putting the quotes down?
So the quotations were always a fundamental aspect of the project, because the process of selecting the quotations was quite demanding.
Yeah.
To find quotations that would work for the circumstance and work for the quotations.
Yeah.
So there had to be this kind of mutually compatible situation.
So now, Wendy, what level is this? Because this is the beginning of something.
So this is the macro. This is one of the large works, and it's about 40 metres long, and it wraps right around the wetland and back up to the top there. It's in 3 parts, and this is emergence, the second part is transition, and the third part is maturation. So it's about the beginnings. This particular piece, part of it is about the beginnings of human existence. And
so this is man coming out of the soup, as it were, of the universe.
Exactly.
And crawling onto land. And wow.
And the whole idea with all of the pieces is that they're very simple in their construction and in their design. So again, the ideas are accessible to people. They can take them away. Yeah. And we forget this, that movement is essential to existence, that actually everything's in movement. And
everything's in motion.
Everything's in motion.
Yeah.
And so that underlying kind of quantum physics level is acknowledged in all of these pieces. So each section has its own quote, which refers to that underlying momentum.
You know, you can really see the movement coming out, crawling onto the land, onto the terra firma.
Yeah. And they were positioned so you kind of got that almost clamouring feeling.
Yeah.
And when we get to this point, we're looking at the establishment of tribes and villages and nations and different...
And the trees representing...
The trees represent the different belief systems, the different political and economic systems that were a part of this whole establishment process. And one of the most interesting things, of course, is that the individual's growth is paralleled by the collective.
Yeah.
So just as we go through growth phases from
in
fetus,
our personal life,
in our personal life, fetus through to maturity, so does the collective of life.
Yeah.
So this is about those first stages up to a point of adolescence.
Yeah.
So from a Baha'i perspective, we are now moving into a phase of adulthood. And that's a phase which mankind in the history of this planet has never achieved before.
Yeah.
So
that's good news.
Yeah, it's good news. From a Baha'i perspective, the outlook for humankind may appear quite dismal in the short term, but is quite beautiful in the long term, because as we reach that point of adolescence, we start to grow up and we start to assume responsibility for custodianship of each other, of the planet. You know, so our whole attitude and response to existence. We forget that we are an integral part of an interdependent process, and that everything we do has an impact on everything else by degree, and that it's very exciting, the prospect of taking responsibility for that interaction.
Nothing goes unnoticed, does it?
Yeah.